Fun fact about Fargo in the north in November, I was just going to mention, last time we were there in November, daytime and nighttime temperatures were exactly the same, -10.
But you're not
Yeah,
selling it, Zubin. You're not selling it.
I'm just north of North Dakota, so yeah, it's about the same. So, okay. Hi, my name is David Snare. I'm a product support specialist from Blue Moon Industries. I'm here to talk about the reconciliation process in one of our products, the auto reconciler. I'm going to be introducing some new features that we added, and including one new feature that just got added yesterday, which is not on the slide. So for this agenda, I'm just going to provide some brief introduction on the auto reconciler, what are the new features, and provide a demo as well as some Q&A time. So Auto Reconciler, it is a product that actually sits inside GP. It allows you to import your transaction from an external file source from your bank statement, either a CSV, BI, TD, BAI, OSC for CIBC, into GP, and then match those transactions to your reconciliation process. It actually could be utilized with the Microsoft Dynamics GP bank reconciliation. It also works with our own reconciliation module, which is the account reconciler. It's ideal for companies with large volumes of transactions, and it works with the GL adjustments features that we created as well for the account reconciler. The key benefits of the auto reconciler, it streamlines the bank reconciliation process. It reduces manual effort and potential errors that occur when you go to reconcile your checkbooks. It easily balances the general ledger accounts to your checkbooks and improves efficiency with companies with higher transaction volumes. So the main thing that's what's new is we actually updated the product to automatic transaction matching. We simplified the reconciliation process by actually giving you the ability to read your bank statement balance from the BAI file and the bank statement date, and actually write that to the reconciliation method as well as auto open the transactions for the reconciliation. So you can complete the reconcile. Now for the demo. So Auto Reconciler, as it sits inside GP, it has its own setup options. The way it works is it will try to match your transactions by document number and amount, what it read from the bank statement. You have the ability to do a secondary pass, so you could do a secondary pass matching by amount or date and amount. For deposits, the date and amount option also has a tolerance for plus or minus X number of days, similar to GP reconciliation. One of the new features we added is to match deposits based on bank entry. That's for the account reconciler, because the account reconciler has the ability to review your transactions at the GL level, but you could also combine the transactions viewed to the deposit slip. So we're adding the ability to do the matching by the deposit slip. One of the main new features is we added the ability to update the statement balance and date as part of your matching process and give you the ability to automatically open the transaction window as part of matching. It can be set to never ask and always. One of the new features that wasn't really discussed in the slide is we actually made the installation a lot quicker now of the product. And we gave the ability to synchronize your checkbooks for account reconciler and for auto reconciler. For auto reconciler, when you go to set it up, you would actually create your import ID, select the file type that you're going to be importing by, and specify your sample file. If it's a fixed comma delimited or fixed length, then you would actually have to match the fields. You would have to map the fields as part of the import ID of which field is for which field on the file. For VAI, you don't have to. It's just specifying the sample file. This utility, though, it primarily used to as part of initial setup. It can also be used for existing customers to synchronize the bank accounts on their imports IDs. You could select this and specify if all your checkbooks are going to be using the same import ID, then you can actually process it and it would automatically complete the auto reconciler checkbook setup, which is mapping your checkbook to your import ID. It would actually do that for all the active checkbooks that exist in GP. The account number portion of this actual sync the bank account, what that is on a BAI file. BAI file can contain multiple checkbooks on a single file. Each checkbook is separated by the actual account record, which will have the account number listed on it. So for your import process, you can get one bank slip from the bank containing multiple accounts. And this way, with this synchronization, if you set up your checkbook in checkbook maintenance for that account number, it'll actually update our utility for that account number that you've already previously set up. So it reads that and updates it. Once your setup's completed, you would actually go to the transactions pane, open the auto reconciler, select the checkbook that you want to import your bank transactions from. It would default from the default file setup and setup, but you can actually override that and select which one you want, wherever you save it. And when you import it, it pulls all the transactions in. It also pulled in the statement date and statement balance from that file. When I go to match, since I had both account rec and GP bank rec set up and I asked it to ask, it's going to give me the option ask. But if you could specify if you're only using Great Plains to go to the Great Plains, or if you only wanted to go to the account reconciler, go to the account reconciler. I'm going to perform both just for this demonstration. We would go to the GP bank rec. It would actually give me my exceptions report. It's going to ask me if I want to open the transactions because I have it set to open. I get the standard message from GP. So if this doesn't exist, this record for this period doesn't exist, it'll actually create that record and give me the grace period. From here, it cleared the transactions it found matching with. Now, if I were to redo that process again, but using account rec, it would be a similar type of process. Now with account reconciler, we actually have this unmatched import option. It gives me my report on what it matched, and it asks me to open the window. Now from the report that gets created, it tells you what it matched, if it was previously matched by a previous run, and what it did not match. In this case, it did not find a match for this one. And since I use account reconciler in this case, account reconciler has the ability to create the GL adjustments directly in the reconciliation window. It mapped that file, which the GL adjustments that we created for account reconciler, it was primarily used with the auto reconciler on the premise that you have transactions at the bank that don't exist in GP, primarily such as banking fees, miscellaneous fees, NSF fees, that you need to create those adjustments inside GP. So we gave that as part of the import utility, that you can actually create those GL adjustments as part of the import. From this window, it could primarily use as the import, but it could also be used to manually clear everything. So I can use this as a manual list to go through the reconciliation method and then clear them manually. So in this case, it's a miscellaneous fee. I want to create the GL adjustment for it. Which we already know what the offset type, the offset account that's going to be used for the GL adjustment, because we've actually created this offset type maintenance that reads the reference field that's going to be used. Since I had mine as miscellaneous fees, I had mine do a search and do a matching for anything that starts with miscellaneous and sets that as the offset account. From here, the GL adjustment's not created yet. It actually is in a preview section that you can then choose to create by setting the batch and do create journal or create and post. If I just do create, it'll actually create the journal entry. It hasn't been posted yet, so it won't get pulled into the account record window, but it's still part of the GL adjustments. If I did post it, I could either create and post, or if I just create it and then I can manually post the batch. Once that journal entry is posted, it automatically gets pulled in and it's automatically flagged as clear. In this case, I'm not going to create it. I'm just going to show that how that is part of the actual adjusted balance. So it takes this GL adjustment, which I haven't created yet, as part of the total adjusted balance. So your balance is now 0. And I can actually reconcile the checkbook. If you also have the account reconciler, I know my time's a little bit short. We do have our own reports that are included with it, as well as our own smart list object. So the smart list object lets you review what hasn't been reconciled and what has been reconciled already. Once the checkbook is reconciled, everything is removed from the actual open file to a historical file, and it can be reviewed later down the line. For reporting, we actually give you the standard reports for your reconcile, detail reports, summary, non-GL adjustments, deposit transits, outstanding checks, deposits, and disbursement reports. You can print them individually, or you can actually do the print selective and choose them all and then print one after the other. If for some reason you reconciled something that shouldn't have been reconciled, it does have a reset detail fee that you can pull things back in. So that's going to be the portion of my demo, because I know I'm running short here. If there's any few questions.
No, but if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat, the Q&A, and David can answer them in there. And we can certainly get back to you as well.
As well, if you want, we could be reached at channel management bluewingisv.com. www.bluewingisv is our website, or our phone number 401-276-9000. Or if you need to reach me, that my email is productsupport@bluewingisv.com. I'll be happy to answer any questions.